Hey, good morning everyone. My name is Vipin Kumar and in today's video we will look how to make a plan and track project with Azure Board in Azure Devops Service. In this video we will look at how to deal with agile process methodology, how to use work items, how to manage bugs and issues in a project. Let's begin. This is my Azure Devops Service page or home page. When you create a project, you need to select a project methodology. Let's create a project. Click on Advanced option in the work item process. Azure Devops Service support three type of process methodology. One is agile, second is CMMI, and third one is Scrum. I am not going to speak up a differentiate between all of three. I am going to select a agile process for my project. Click on agile and create a project. Pet Clinic-Java project has been created with agile process methodology. Click on board and first one is work items. In the agile process, team uses work item to plan and track the progress of a project or a software. Also in agile process, work item describe has a user story. Team defines the user story to manage the backlog of a project and track the progress by updating the status of those user stories. So let's create a new work item. Click on new work item and select user story. You can understand a user story plan of a project where multiple steps are involved to deliver a final project. This is my first item or user story, a login page for the application. Then a description. Provide enough information to make a estimate time or effort to complete this particular story or item. Next one is acceptance criteria. Provide the acceptance criteria to meet before closing a item or bug. For example, in this login page story, following criteria should be matched before closing this story. Next one is discussion. You can add all the input or conversation which you had with the various team on this story. Since this story is in starting phase or beginning phase, so I am not adding any input or comments in description section. Next one is story point. Make a estimate of work effort required to complete this story in numeric numbers. I am providing the story point 7. You can get a white paper how to make a estimate of story point in agile process over the internet. Next one is priority. The priority number 1 is product cannot deliver without the features. For example, my application can't be delivered without the login page. I am providing the priority number 1. And what is the priority number 2? The priority number 2 means is product cannot deliver without the feature, but it does not have to be addressed immediately. For example, user in my application can log in with their email account or token number. At this moment, I don't need to immediately address the second mechanism about the token key. I can skip this features right now and look at in the future. Now, what is the priority 3? Priority 3 is implementation of the feature is optional based on resource, time and risk. For example, in my application have the optional features to connect or login with social media account. So I am defining this task as a priority 1. It means that my software can't be delivered without having a login features. Next one is a classification. Click on menu and you can see architectural or business. So you need to select the story classification. It is architectural or business. Since login features is part of application architecture and design, so this storyline should be architectural. Next one is risk. You can define the risk from 1 to 3, high, medium, low. So I'm keeping the risk of this feature failure is medium. Currently the state of this storyline is new. Once you save this storyline, user will able to change the state as they made the progress on this storyline. So let's go ahead and save it. Now this storyline has been saved. Let's create one more story. I'm creating a second story for the application homepage. So I have created two user story in my agile process methodology. You can see a list of the work item by remove the filters assigned to me. Let's make a filter on recently updated. So now you can see here I have created two work item or user story, and both the work item not assigned to anyone yet. Let's look at the user story for login page, and now you can see here it is unassigned. Let's assign this user story to the users who is accountable to complete this login page user story. Click on it. Since it has been assigned to this user account, change the state of this user story from new to active. You can select the state when it has been completed with closed status, new one if it is a new, removed means if you realize that this feature should not be part of your application. Next one is resolved. Then you can go for resolve option. Next one is iterations. Iteration is a time duration between multiple phases. For example, first iteration is for 7 days. Second iteration can be on day 8. We can map this storyline to the iteration or time duration in which it is going to be complete. So let's go ahead and select the iteration 1 and go ahead and save it. Now this particular user story or item has been saved. Let's back to the item. So you can see here it is assigned to me. The current state is active and the area path this. Let's do same activity for second storyline. Assigned to me, state become now active. Region implementation started. Iteration is second. It means that we define the time duration in which it should be completed. Now, let's add some comments in the discussion section. Had discussed with database team to store database object in high availability. Go ahead and save it. Now go back to work items and now you can see both the user story assigned to a user and current state is saying active. This is the area path and you can see here I have added one comments. In the backlog section you can see the user story which we created in first step or in work item, and this story is mapped to the iterations 1 and this user story is mapped with iteration number 2. Click on sprint or iterations. So now you can see here the iteration number 1 is a current one and login page is mapped with iterations. If you drop down the box, you can find iteration 2 is a future one and this home page storyline is mapped with this with the state of active. So now if you click on queries, you can create or save the queries to get information about a specific work item, user story or project status report. Let's create a query with title of user story. So click on work item type. Click on title. Contains what is a condition and value is login. Login. And state should be active. Go ahead and run a query. So you can see the output came for our story called login page. So by using this option, you can create a query, save it and execute anytime to find out the result based on your search criteria. Now click on login page. Now let's update with the discussion. You can use the discussion to point a particular users. For example, I want to point out to task owner to provide more update which we had in team meeting. Type at the rate and point out users and give the message, can you please update me. Go ahead and save it. Now I am pointing this user account and asking the update on this. You can also get a notification when any of team member make a changes on this story by following it. Click on follow. Now if anyone make a changes on this user story, you should get a notification over the mail about a update on this user story. Now suppose that the login page has been successfully developed and add in your application. So state is getting changed to resolved by the developer and reason is code completed and unit test pass. Go ahead and save it. Now look at the work items. It has been resolved. Second one is still inactive. After few days, a new bug identified on the login page where users are not able to log in their application with token key. So let's create a new work item for bug. Go ahead and click on new work item. Now this time we are selecting bug. Provide the title login not working with token. It is not assigned anyone. Provide the enough information to the developer or engineer to reproduce the problem. This is the complete step to reproduce the bug. Next one is system info. Information about the system and software that is applicable for your bug. iOS and Windows Phone with login page. The discussion option is same. Provide the story point 9. Priority is 2 and severity is high. What kind of this bug is? So I can say deployment efforts in hours. The original efforts we made for the login page is 45 hours. And how much is remaining? So I can say 15 hours remaining to fix the bug. How much completed? 30 hours. Let's go ahead and save. Go back to work items. Now click on bug and assign it to the users. Make a state active and region is approved. Select the iteration is 1 because 1 is for login page. Go ahead and save it. Go back to work items. You identified a bug for the login page, so you require to reopen the work item for the login page. Go ahead login page and reopen with active. Now suppose that this bug has been fixed by the developers team. So let's go ahead and update the discussion. In the discussion, we are providing the description that bug has been identified and fixed. We are closing this bug report. Go ahead and select close and give the option fixed and verified. Save it. Let's go back to the work item and you can see here bug has been disappear or gone. By using these ways you can manage your project items, bugs, issues, tasks, etc. in agile, scrum or CMMI process methodology. In this video, that's all. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.